And this part changes everything. Most people, when they feel uncomfortable in such situations, they either keep silence and comply silently, or they start to talk and talk and talk and explaining themselves and over-explaining themselves. So they explain, apologize, justify, and they come up with some excuses not to. But these excuses communicate to another person that you're trying to sneak out of the situation, trying to put your responsibility on a third party, kind of delegating the responsibility to something, some event or some person, and maybe you're silently going with your peer group to a venue that you don't really want to go to, but they convinced you to, and you go and think about, please, what if some miracle event happens? Maybe my friend, another friend just will cross his ways with us, and I will just join my friend and kind of sneak out of the situation. You're trying to find this fucking excuse because you're afraid to communicate your true feelings, your true response, because you don't know how to. And this video is about it. But you are afraid. You think that if you say, I just don't want to, boom, done. Your life is over. But it's not like that. If you right now, like in serious, like big situations, will start implementing these things, yes, they won't work. But when you start small and then gradually grow, your life will change a lot. And I'll speak about this. So this fear comes from the acknowledgement that you don't really know how to express yourself. You don't really know how to express your inner feelings, because these are the feelings, it's not words. And if you say, I just don't feel like, bro, you're coming with us. And you're like, okay. That's so simple. Very simple. And here comes the crucial move that most people miss. Clarification. You should understand that your position is more than enough. No excuses needed. No any third party or whatever reasons needed to say no, to reject, walk away, quit. It's your sheer will. But the way you communicate it is important. So clarification stage is inevitable if you want to be successful in standing your grounds without any problems. And in the end of the video, I will give you some examples on how to practice doing this specific part so you could grow gradually, safely, without any risks. So how to clarify? Instead of keeping silence or making long emotional statements or like finding excuses and reasons, you ask a simple clarification question. And this question comes from within, from your values and core desires. And the best way to explain this to you will be to use this example. Imagine you're on a date, and your date, at some point, for some reason, decided to yell at you in an angry manner. Maybe he or she didn't like something, or you said something that they didn't like. Doesn't matter. You have this fact. A person raised a voice at you in an angry manner. And this crosses your boundaries, this crosses your values right away. At this moment, you acknowledge that, yeah, I don't like it. And at this moment, you go inside yourself, you live through this. This happens for less than a second. And you just feel like, wait, why it doesn't resonate? What do I like instead? What do I like? I like when everything peaceful and calm without any anger. But what if this person doesn't know this, that I like it? I never told him. Yeah, I actually never told him. Okay. And maybe this person likes to yell around, and likes to argue. And that's not my values. I should clarify this as well. So clarification always happens with questions, or one question. And in this case, just look at the person and say, hey, in a very calm manner, because you're not angry, you're curious. You're curious to clarify everything, to find out their position and to communicate your position. And you communicate your position by asking a question. And you can say, hey, I have a question. Wait a minute. I have a question. Do you always like to yell like this? And would you like me to yell at you in return? And you wait for the answer. And this is a game changer. So you ask them a question, one question. For example, the person decided to yell at you, and in a very calm, curious manner, you say something like, excuse me, but I have a question. Do you enjoy talking with a raised voice? Do you usually communicate like this? And maybe you'd like me to raise my voice at you. Boom. Just humongous explosion. Big game changer. Just big game changer. Because by asking such a question from your curiosity, from within, from your core values, you do not need to remember these freaking questions for every single quadrillion case scenarios. It's impossible. But when it comes from within, from your values, you just feel like this does not resonate with me. I have a question. Do you always smoke in front of people who tell you that hate smoking, for example? Or when your boss tries to slide some extra tasks, you come out in a calm manner and first you acknowledge, okay, my responsibilities are these. Okay, and I'm quite packed. I don't have that much time. That will be your first immediate response inside of yourself. Your body will tell you, hey, that's too much. I'm already packed. And you know it that you will have this fucking response in your body because it was always happen. You won't fool me. And once this happens, you're like, oh yeah, I'm so loaded. And then you come from this feeling that comes from within and say, like, whatever, boss, oh, okay, I can take this task, but the thing is that I'm loaded right now heavily and I barely meeting all the deadlines. So in order to accomplish this task will require some extra time. So what do you suggest doing? Would you like to replace some of the tasks, some of ongoing tasks that I'm already working on with this task? Or I can consider this job paid separately and done at a different time. And at that moment, your boss will understand, oh, that's fucking reasonable. And I've been through all the possible case scenarios in this specific street. You could ask, okay, what are you doing now? And he might say, oh, wow, yeah, these tasks are freaking number one important. Okay, forget about this task. Or you'd say, you can pause it. This client will, whatever, I figured out something with him. So just cancel these tasks and proceed with this one. Or he would say, well, I really need you to do it. And all the other tasks are important, but probably, yeah, I guess, that's gonna require extra time and extra pay. And here comes the second moment. And you feel like, do you really want to spend some time for some extra compensation to do this job or not? Maybe you have important events, maybe you have whatever, a date, or you're meeting with your friends that you haven't met for a while. So it all depends on you. It's all up to you to decide from your core values, from your desires, from your plans, from your own ground, like what you really want. Or another situation, your peer group says, okay, let's go. Fucking go. And you say, wait, I have a question, because you feel like you need to work in the morning, and you clarify, hey guys, what's the plan? What's gonna happen? What are we gonna do there? And what time are you planning to leave? And they will say, oh, we don't know, we don't care. And you could say, well, I care, and I have a limited time, I have 20 more minutes, and I see it's not worth walking with you for 20 minutes, so I have to leave, sorry. And that's it. And that's it. You have important things to do tomorrow. You asked a question, and just because you're asking a question and not starting explaining something, their brain starts to acknowledge that this that you come out solid and not just like you don't want to go. It's like it's fucking reasonable for some reason. Just because when you're asking question, everything starts to become reasonable. That works like magic. But only when it comes from within. Because, for example, if someone yells at you and you would say, hey, don't yell at me, I don't like it, you'll come out like as rude, arrogant, or you would say, no, I can't. Or I don't want to. Well, sometimes saying I don't want to is a fucking solid answer. But you need to feel it. And in order to start feeling it, you need to go through all these things that I'm sharing with you to learn how to behave in different situations. And then once you had your experience, you'll be able to go more versatile, more flexible, and just responding with one word. No, because it will come from within. Because if you ask me, hey, do you want to go there? And I will tell you, no, I don't want to. Hey, let's go. It's going to be fun. And I'm like, no. Okay, bro, let's go. And I'm like, maybe we'll go to a different place. What do you think of like this cafe? Or what do you think like going to this club? Or, hey, maybe we'll call Mike and do something together. And your body will, bro, relax. Everything's going to be fine. You're like, damn, what reason can I come up with to just not go there? So you ask a question. Why do you really want to go there? What excites you about this place? What really attracts you, like, in doing this thing? Or why do you want to hang out with him specifically today? Do you have something in mind, or you want to do something like whatever? You just ask questions. And then, after asking questions, you come out like that serious about this thing. And then you can say just, okay, I don't want to go there. Because this person will give you his excuses. So basically the brain takes these answers that he's telling you as an excuse to go. Yeah, because it's going to be fun. I'll meet my friends there. We'll drink all night. There will be some girls, whatever, like really cool guys. And it's going to be fun and blah, yada, yada, yada. These are excuses. And then, okay, I don't want to go. And, or like your boss pushes you through and tells you, well, yeah, that will require more time, extra time, but I'm not willing to pay you. But I want you to do this task. And here we come to another crucial part that people miss again. You are always 100% are willing to walk away. So walk away. And it sounds scary. Scary shit. I know this. I was there. But once you practice these principles on small things and start to grow, this won't be scary at all. It will be like, oh yeah, sure, I understand that. It's like becoming professional or at least decent in different sports, different jobs, different things. And for example, your date is yelling at you. You asked a few questions and this person continues to yell at you. What do? Clarification did its job. You just clarified this person, this fucking respects you by not even considering answering your questions and explaining what's happening. Do you really want this person in your life? Even it's the wealthiest, the sexiest, the most influential, whatever person. You might say, yeah, well, no, it's not that. Because tomorrow, or even a few minutes later, this small thing will amplify by 5, then by 10, then by 50 times. And you might end up getting screwed up, completely screwed up. You don't want this shit in your life. So once you understand that this does not match with your values, you clarify the situation, which is crucial part. That clarification shows you what's really happening. And if the person continues to push you,